What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Zoop here, and I've got some crazy gameplay for you. This is not my own. This is actually some gameplay that was provided by Wookiee Legend, and I always love giving you user-submitted gameplay, especially when it's as good as what Mr. Wookiee has provided me here today. You can see right now he's kind of sandwiched between two kamikaze Rs. He's in the Fujin, and that's a ship that you really don't see that much anymore. Even the kamikaze has kind of become, I won't say a rarity, but it's not out there as much as it used to be, at least from what I can see when I play tier 5s, and when I play tier 5s, I'm usually in the kamikaze. So I think the biggest factor going on right now that's kind of keeping people from playing it are just aircraft carriers and the extreme amount of them. But fortunately, you can see right here, Mr. Wookiee did not wind up with any aircraft carriers. And that's why he's able to do what he did in this round, in what is one of the highest amount of ships sunk that I've had submitted to me by a user. I mean, and any time someone is able to sink 3/4 the enemy team, I think that's a round that truly deserves to be highlighted. And I think people need to see that. And that's why I'm showing this to you right now. And he's already firing at this Graf Spee right now. He's got his torpedoes on the way out. He's already taken half damage. He's lost half his hit points, but that's not going to stop him. And right there, he gets started in wonderful fashion. Takes two ships out, actually. The Graf Spee, and there just happened to be a kamikaze R near the Graf Spee. I don't think he is expecting for that to happen, but right off the bat, he secures 2 kills right there. Granted, they were a little bit low health, but we're not going to hold that against them. A kill's a kill, right? He's only at 12,000 damage, but he's got 2 kills under his belt right now, and he's not even close to being done. Now, the Fujin's one of those ships that I haven't played that much just because I have the kamikaze, and the 2 ships are pretty much exactly the same in the way they operate and everything else. I mean, Fujin is another one of those tier 5 whales that either you got it or you didn't get it, and if you didn't get it, you probably want it, and you're probably not ever going to get it again. I mean, maybe you will one day, but they used to be giving it out like candy, not so much anymore, because I think they caught on to the fact that people could absolutely seal club in them with their 5.4 kilometer concealment and insane torpedo reload. So I might have to play it again, just to play the Fujin, even though it is basically the kamikaze R. But what I was saying earlier, I think a lot of the ships that old school players used to love to seal club in really have kind of lost that oomph and kind of lost their edge on account of aircraft carriers, especially when you have 2 carriers at this tier in a round. It just really makes life hard for a destroyer. And here's the other kamikaze R right now, and he's gonna start to go to town on it. It's got some good HE damage on it right there. Probably gonna start slinging those torps soon, and there's a torp hit right there. Oh, he takes out the Iron Duke, devastating strike. That was lovely right there. And there, just like that, he's got 3 kills. And again, he's not close to being done, not close at all. So I think aircraft carriers have really neutered these ships in a way. You can see in rounds where you don't have aircraft carriers, you can pretty much run the tables, as Mr. Wookiee is doing right here. But when you have aircraft in there spotting and just keeping you lit as a destroyer, it makes it really hard. And I think really the kamikaze and the Fujin aren't quite the ship that they used to be, only because of CVs. However, in rounds when there are no CVs, I think they're perfectly fine. But from my experience, more often than not, I see CVs in the lower rounds than I do in the higher rounds. So it does make it a little harder for destroyers. And, oh, those 2 torps just died short of La Galisienne. Too bad, but we'll keep going. I do have an amendment that I need to make to my video the other day about the upcoming ships. And if you recall, I was talking about Russian battleships, and I said that the Slava and the other ship, the Pagoda, blah, 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 which I can't pronounce. I said they were part of a split. However, that's old news. Ooh, these look good. Oh, poor Texas. I like Texas because it's American. And now it's at the bottom of the ocean. Wow, look at that. He's already got 4 kills. He's on fire. I mean, not literally. It'd be bad if he's on fire because he's lost half his hit points, but no, he is figuratively on fire. So as I was saying, the Slava and the other Russian ship, they are not part of a split. That was news that we had received a long time ago. That's what Wargaming had thought about doing. At least with the Slava, they were going to do a one-tier split at tier 10 to shoehorn the Slava in there. However, they told me that that is not the case because obviously they saw my video and saw that I had provided you with incorrect information. So I told them that I would correct it, and that's what I'm doing right now. The Slava will not be part of a tech tree split. It will be available in some way, shape, or form. Don't think it's slated for steel, but it'll be available to you. That's all I can say right now. And it currently is in testing, and I'm sure you all probably saw a video of it that was promptly removed and put back up, then promptly removed. A lot of interest right now on the Slava, just because of its notoriety that it's had in the past. And I think it's still got some of that notoriety. And here comes Kamikaze R again. And let's see if Mr. Wookiee can finish him off. Unfortunately, he took a big hit there. Unfortunately, he can no longer spot him because he's in smoke. Everything else is spotted, and there goes those torps again. 30 seconds later, they'll be up and ready to go again. So a lot of interest in the Slava just because of how infamous it is. We're testing it. I mean, that doesn't mean it's coming out infinitely, and there's the Kraken right there. It takes out the Kamikaze R that decided to slow down the smoke. You gotta move if you're in the smoke. You gotta get to the edges. If you sit in the middle, you're gonna get sunk. That's what happened right there. Well done, Mr. Wookiee. 5 kills right now, and still counting. And still counting. And it's a good record under him. Look at that. He's got 1 double strike. He's got the Kraken. 2 devastating strikes. So just a great all-around round so far. And he's done a really good job of skirting that 5.4 kilometer limit as he attacks these battleships and everything else. And in the beginning, that wasn't too easy because there were 2 destroyers out there that were occasionally spotting him. Now with the destroyers gone, he's pretty much got free reign because all that's left are 4 battleships and a cruiser. And that Le Glizinier is probably not going to get close to his team just because it would get nuked. So he's got a lot of fat, slow targets left, like this Fuso right here he's going to start firing at. And will this be number 6? We'll find out. He's going to step into the capture. Don't know if he's going to go for the capture for all the kills. If I were him the way he's playing, I would just keep going after kills. He's got a lot of easy targets here. Look at him skirting right outside that limit right there of that Koenig. That Koenig. Just missed being detected right there. And his torps are almost up. Who's he going to fire at, though? He's also got the Congo over here. But it looks like he's going to go for the Koenig. And it looks like some of his torps... Well, look at that. Boop! That was 1 torp, and it just utterly slaughtered poor Mr. Fuso. Fun and engaging right there. Detonated him. And this Fuso right here... Is this poor player even... Yeah, he's moving. He's not AFK. He's definitely here. Mr. Wookiee's already up to 6 kills, and I don't think this Fuso knows that he's even here. He's guys, if you play in the lower levels, the lower tiers, if you are a battleship player, you cannot just sit there. You cannot straight line sail. Zigzag. Slow your speed down. I mean, and there goes Le Glizinier. That means there's 3 battleships, and that's it. 3 battleships, all for Mr. Wookiee to go after. And look at these torps right here. Those 4 are going to peg him. Oh, maybe even 5. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Confederate right there. And he's got 7 kills. And there are 2 battleships left. If you're playing in the lower levels and you're a battleship player, you cannot straight line sail. It is deadly at this tier because of how slow moving you are. If you're being fired at by a destroyer, even if you slow down your speed and start right back up again, you're going to throw the torps off. Most of the time, the only way they're going to hit you, or at least hit you in a way that's really, really going to hurt, is if you straight line sail, don't vary things up, and they get numerous torps on you. But if you zigzag a little bit, if you slow down, speed back up, turn every now and then. That's going to throw the enemy's torpedoes off. And he gets a fire on this Koenig right here. And is he going to get a fire kill on this one as opposed to a torp kill? I don't know. Only 1,000 hit points left. Is he going to get the kill? He's still on fire. Look at that. Look at that. Sanken by fire. And that leaves one ship left. And I'm going to tell you right now what happens. You can probably guess it. With 120,000 damage, yeah, he's going to sink this Congo. I did say that he sank 3/4 of the enemy team. And that's exactly what's happening right here. And this is just a phenomenal round right here. Just brilliant playing. This is how you maximize the value of the Fujin. And the Kamikaze, for that matter. But that didn't help the other Kamikazes because he still slaughtered them. Just like he's going to slaughter this Congo. Thank you for the gameplay. If you got more, submit it. I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.